As we go about our daily lives, do we see the harvest? Jesus said, "The harvest is plentiful." There is a great harvest, an abundant spiritual harvest right now. However, Jesus says something further. The harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. Jesus presents us with a problem. The problem is not with the harvest. It is waiting and ready, numerous, abundant. The problem is with the workers. They are few in number, small, puny. So we have the problem of the harvest worker contrast. Plentiful versus puny. The harvest potential is not realised. What is Jesus' solution? He is, after all, the one in charge, the Lord of the harvest. His solution is twofold. Firstly, prayer. Jesus turns our attention to prayer. Prayer to the Lord of the harvest. Jesus says, ask. Ask the Lord of the harvest, therefore, to send out workers into his harvest field. What could be simpler? As we see the abundant spiritual harvest all around and about us, countless precious lives in desperate need of God's rescue, yet we see a need for workers. So we cry out to God in prayer, Jesus, Lord of the harvest, send out workers into your harvest field. Jesus, you are in charge. The field and its plentiful harvest belong to you. You are the one who calls, equips, and empowers workers to go out. So prayer is the first part of Jesus' solution. He tells us to ask. What is the second part? Well, the second part is obedience to God's command. Jesus' encouragement to ask is followed by Jesus' command to go. So prayer is followed by obedience. In other words, we are to be the answer to our prayer. We are to be those who respond to God's call to go. We ask God to send out workers, so God commands us to go out and be his workers. Go. I am sending you out. God sends those who have encountered Jesus for themselves to share Jesus with others. See, God freely gave us the good news of the kingdom. The kingdom of God has come near to you. But we are not to stay in a holy huddle or holy bubble, tightly clutching to that good news of the kingdom. For God sends us out. Go, he says. Well, our enemy, the devil, wants to keep the good news of salvation suppressed. But may we leave the holy huddle and bring him holy trouble. Jesus can shockingly be the church's best kept secret. And our enemy likes it this way. He wants the harvest of souls to himself. Yet Jesus, not the devil, is the Lord of the harvest, and he calls you and me to be workers in his field, out there in the big wide world of need. But I've got to be honest, this won't be easy. You will meet opposition and difficulty. Jesus commands his disciples, "Go, I am sending you out like lambs among wolves." Jesus wants us to go out with our eyes open and our trust in him. Jesus made clear that his disciples will encounter trouble and persecution. How Jesus was treated or listened to will be how his followers are treated or listened to. Jesus said, "Remember what I told you. A servant is not greater than his master. If they persecuted me, they will persecute you also. If they obeyed my teaching, they will obey yours also." Yet Jesus commands us to go. It reminds me of words in Isaiah and Isaiah's calling by God. "Then I heard the voice of the Lord saying, 'Whom shall I send, and who will go for us?' And I said, 'Here am I, send me.'" Being sent out like lambs among wolves may not be the most motivating of speeches, but it is realistic. Jesus is calling you to count the cost. Are you willing to share Jesus with others out there, even though it may cost you? So Jesus shows us the abundant spiritual harvest around and about us. There is much to be done. We are called to pray and to obey. Not pray and look away, or pray and stay. The unrealized harvest potential is not someone else's problem or responsibility. Lord, send out workers. Whom shall I send? Here am I, send me. Go, I am sending you as lambs among wolves. If you see the need, and are praying the prayer, Lord, send workers to meet the need, then be prepared to be part of the answer to go with the good news in word and in deed. And may it be said of you and me, we were sent, so we went. May we go with good news. May we go as good news. The kingdom of God has come near us, so we bring it near to others. Just one more thing. I finish with part of another parable that Jesus taught. In Matthew chapter 21, there was a man who had 2 sons. He went to the first and said, "Son, go and work today in the vineyard." "I will not," he answered. But later he changed his mind and went. Then the father went to the second son and said the same thing. He answered, "I will, sir." But he did not go. Which of the 2 did what his father wanted? "The first," they answered. Will you ask the Lord to send out workers into his plentiful harvest all around and about you? Will you go and be one of those workers? It matters not what you say, but what you do.